Imagine trying to build a ship from the mast down instead of from the foundation or the bottom up. Sounds crazy? Sure, it is. Building a ship requires a very organized, layered approach. Once a construction team receives the plan and lays the design blueprints, they can build the chassis and establish the cutouts for steel sheet and planks. Then, steps of various block assembly and sheet assembly. After a crew completes the rough work, blocks are combined to form the complete structure, then ready for testing and sea trials, after which the naming ceremony takes place. Designing a PCB is way more similar than it could be imagined. A PCB is a sort of a layer cake or what do you call it, a lasagne. There are alternating layers of different materials which are laminated together with heat and adhesive such that the result is a single object. Let's start in the middle and work our way out. Does this PCB layer image look like it's gonna be difficult? Why do you worry when Captain Jack is your buddy? Note that not every PCB contains all the layers listed over here. The need for different layer depends on the specifics of the design. Single layer boards typically include a mechanical layer, a keep out layer, a routing layer, an overlay layer, a solder mask layer, and a solder paste layer, whereas multi-layer PCBs contain those same layers as well as a mix of additional power planes, ground planes, and more routing layers. The most common boards are 2, 4, and 6 layer PCBs, though it is not uncommon to have PCBs with over 12 layers. In Proteus, we can make up to 16 layer PCBs. So, first is the mechanical layer. A PCB may have multiple mechanical layers, but a design will require at least one to fabricate your board. The most basic mechanical layer, sometimes referred to as mechanical 1, outlines the physical dimensions of your board. This is depicted by the yellow outline in the Proteus software. This layer is called as the board edge in Proteus. The fabricator will use this layer to cut your circuit board from the stock material. This outline can be a simple rectangle or a more complicated shape with rounded corners or cutouts as seen in the figures. The next is the keep out layer. Where the mechanical layer defines the physical boundaries of the board, the keep out layer specifies constraints on the working area of the design. For example, the designer may want all components drawn back 1 mil from the perimeter of your board. To the keep out layer will constrain the design in this manner. This is not a layer that is provided to the fabricator, but rather works with the design software to provide feedback to the designer as they develop their design to indicate whether or not they are in a violation of the predetermined boundaries. Next is the FR4. The base material or substrate is usually fiberglass. The mechanical layer is usually made of the FR4. The PCB board is made of FR4. The most common designator for this is fiberglass. This solid core gives the PCB its rigidity and thickness. There are also flexible PCBs built on flexible high temperature plastic like Captain or the equivalent. This layer is coated with a thin copper foil which is laminated to the board with heat and adhesive. On common double-sided PCBs, copper is applied to both sides of the substrate. In low-cost electronic gadgets, the PCB may have copper on only one side. When we refer to a double-sided or two-layer board, we are referring to the number of copper layers in our cake. This can be as few as one layer or as many as 16 layers or more. These are the layers that designers spend the majority of their time perfecting. Routing layers can be located on both outer, referred to as top and bottom layers, and internal layers on your PCB, which are known as the inner layers. These layers must be provided to your fabricator to create your board. The image shown above The image shown above is the top PCB layer. So in addition to the component interconnecting routing, you also see the pads for the actual components, planes. The highlighted part that we can see in the image is the plane, the ground plane. So the ground planes and power planes are solid copper layers shortened to a fixed potential. Very simply, ground planes are connected to the ground and power planes are connected to one of your onboard voltages, like duh. Similar to routing layers, these can be located on the top, bottom, or within the internals of your board. These planes may seem boring, but they are both highly convenient for distributing power and ground across all of your components and may greatly benefit performance under certain conditions. Fabrication files describing all planes within your design must be provided when creating your custom PCB. Now, the finishing layers. The solder mask. The layer on top of the copper foil is called the solder mask layer. This layer gives the PCB its green, which is common, or any other color like black, blue, red, white, yellow, black. Did I just repeat my favorite color? Solder mask is overlaid onto the copper layer to insulate the copper traces from accidental contact with other metal, solder, or conductive bits in the vicinity of the board. This layer helps the user to solder the correct places and prevent solder jumpers. Then we have the silkscreen layer. The white silkscreen layer is commonly applied on top of the solder mask layer. The silkscreen adds letters, numbers, and symbols to the PCB that allow for easier assembly and indicators for humans to better understand the board. So that's all about the theory of the layers of PCB. In the next video, we'll see how these screens are actually denoted in the Bluetooth software. So stay tuned for the next video.